All right, I want to show you something fascinating, at least fascinating to me, but it doesn't take much for that to happen. The breakdown of the Democratic race right now. Hillary Clinton, she did a very good job yesterday. She got a lot of states. Bernie Sanders picked up a few himself, but the delegate math, the conventional delegate math looks like this. Hillary Clinton has 544 delegates to Bernie Sanders 349. Yet there are these so-called super delegates. Add them in, and look at what we have here. More than 1,000 delegates for Hillary Clinton, swamping Bernie Sanders at 371. Now, who are these super delegates? Well, there are about 715 of them in the Democratic Party. Now, 20 are governors, 46 are senators, the Democratic senators. We have 193 House members and 436 DNC members, including the chairs and vice chairs of each state's Democratic Party and others as well. That's how you get to that. Now, among those super delegates is this next fellow, Henry Cuellar, the congressman from the fine state of Texas. Congressman, always good to have you. How you doing?
It's always a pleasure being with you, Neil. Thank you.
Now, I know you're not necessarily committed, I assume, as a superdelegate for Hillary Clinton, to vote for her. I know there were superdelegates the last go-around in 8 years that were originally with Hillary Clinton, moved across to then Senator Obama. But that does give Hillary Clinton a formidable edge, does it not?
Yes, it does. And I was committed to her in 2008. I stuck with her, then switch over to Barack Obama, and I'm committed to Hillary Clinton now.
You know, I can actually see, Congressman, if you're going to have superdelegates, recognize governors, you know, Democratic governors, recognize Democratic congressmen. I'm not keen on this process. They could artificially put a candidate over the top. But here's what gives me the sort of heebie-jeebies. When 436 of these superdelegates are DNC party types, that kind of ickies me out. What do you think?
Well, you know, basically when the rules were written, they were trying to find a balance to make sure that no special interests or any changes will come in and just sweep over the party. So they just decided to find some balance on it. It might not be perfect, but it's something that has worked for the Democratic Party.
But don't you find it a little weird that you even need the balance? Why can't it just be, you know, the vote you get in the state, delegates awarded proportionally? This is like, you know, cream on the pie.
Well, I mean, look at the Electoral College and the popular vote. Why not get rid of the Electoral College and go on the popular vote? I think there's been elections, like, for example, Al Gore got more votes than Bush did, but the Electoral College gave it to
no, you're right.
To Bush. So it just,
well, I'm for junking the Electoral College as well. It might have made sense in the early days, but for God's sake, move on. Having said all that, I guess I'm sorry to get a little distracted on that, sir. I did want to get your sense, though, of the fact that Bernie Sanders picked up as many states as he did. A lot of people thought that Hillary Clinton could put him away last night. She obviously built on her lead, but obviously he isn't going anywhere. He just came off a month raising $40 million. She came off a month presumably raising around $30 million. So he's not going anywhere. And the fear among some in your party, Congressman, is that that's going to keep her hard left, and she won't be able to sort of get back to the middle. What do you think?
Well, you know, I think that's happening to that possibility could happen to both sides. On the Republican side, as you know, they've been moving far right. On the Democratic side, of course, Bernie Sanders does have a way of going to the far left. He's not a Democrat, he's a socialist. So I can understand how primaries candidates are pushed far right and far left. My hope for the Democrats is that we go back to the middle, and certainly I hope that the Republicans go back to the middle. The summer, when we have our national conventions, that has a way of moderating both of the nominees, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican nominee.
All right. Who do you think your party fears the most, Congressman? We hear that they salivate at the prospect of a Donald Trump as the nominee. Others are worried. What about you?
Well, you know, I used to think that Donald Trump would be the easiest candidate to be, because you have a lot of good moderates like Rubio, and you had Bush and other folks, Kasich, you know, other folks that were moderates. But you know, we've seen that the Republicans have underestimated Donald Trump, and I'll be one of those first Democrats to say, don't underestimate Donald Trump. We're seeing what he's doing to the Republican primary, and I think for any Democrat to think that he's going to be the easiest target, you know, he does have a little Teflon skin on him.
All right. Thank you, Congress. It's like we teach our kids. Don't take anything for granted, right?
Thank you, Neil.
All right, Congressman. Always good chatting with you.